Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter. What do we got on this episode, Greg?
We're going to talk about all the news from around the league.
We're going to talk about Adley Rutschman and Cole Cowser really heating up lately.
Elijah's going to talk about Orioles pitching and how they might be figuring it out.
And we're going to discuss some of the fundamentals and philosophy of baseball, more specifically the Orioles, and how bunts and some game management's really going away.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody, and with me, like always, is Elisha. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
We also got Greg on the podcast. He's back to give us some positivity and enthusiasm. And
What's up?
So thank you for being with us again. And what do you call him?
Well, I think we have to have two nicknames for him. So previously it's Mr. Optimism.
Oh,
but I think we should alternate between Mr. Optimism and like a grounding wire.
a grounding wire. yeah, he's the green.
Yeah.
The green wire that if you forget about that, the house burns down.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you saving the house.
Gotcha.
But yes, we have a more fun things to talk about Orioles baseball than we've had the past 17 weeks. But yeah, we are excited about that. We're gonna get to that. We have some fun things to talk about today. But first, let's get to Elijah's news of the week.
Yeah, so I want to start off, and since everyone that's been listening for a while knows that Greg, although he joins us on our Orioles podcast, he isn't always an Orioles fan. He's a big Cubs guy too, and the Cubs have had an interesting past couple weeks. And if you can see by his facial expressions there, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see he's not too thrilled about it.
Yeah.
They, I believe, are they double-digit losing streak after a double-digit win streak.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a double-digit win streak earlier this season, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you might be able to call them a little streaky.
Yeah, they're a little streaky, and it's crazy that they have double-digit losing streaks, and they're still, I don't know, they've still won 29 games, I believe. Meanwhile, we're 24.
I mean,
we're just more consistent at the losing thing. Like you just got to intertwine.
We're better at losing than they are.
Yeah, like we won't go 10 in a row.
Yeah,
but we'll be 3 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And,
you got to sprinkle a win in every.
We want that false hope, just a little,
just enough,
just
enough.
A little bit. Do you have anything to say about your Cubbies?
They're bad. They're just bad. You look at their stats and there's nothing real. Michael Busch, the first baseman, has gotten hot and he's gotten a lot more consistent. But other than that, their defense what was their calling card has struggled, even up the middle, which is, they have Gold Glover at second, Gold Glover at short, and Crow Armstrong could be a Gold Glover in center, and he struggled too. So their pitching's been hurt. But
speaking of P. Crow Armstrong, can I just gauge your opinion on him as a player and a person right now?
I love his firingness. I think he has not recovered from the second half of last year. Too many swing and misses. But he's when you're not doing good, you can't run your mouth to the White Sox fan, especially after they took 2 or 3 from you. So,
speaking of, but we know exactly how he feels about the whole, doing as good as you were or struggling like you were in the past year. Because the Orioles, we have a lot of players that have been struggling for a year and a half.
Yeah.
We had this crazy surge, and then, but you had a good point earlier about, it's crazy when you're talking about like batting averages on the team, and like you looking at the Cubs, there's a lot of low batting averages, but it's sort of like it's throughout baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's a crazy, if you look at just baseball as a whole, batting average are down, a crazy amount.
Well, you wouldn't know one of the many reasons why batting average might be down.
Why is that?
When this kid Jacob Mizrowski can go throw 57 pitches in his start that are 100 miles an hour or more. They get 12 strikeouts along with that.
So would you say, like, if that was you, would you try to back that down to save some of those? Like when you're pitching, like when you're in high school, would you try to, like, instead of if you throw 100 pitches, did you try to throw like maybe 7 instead of 57? Set 100 mounted?
Yeah, I think really my long-term goal is health. So this is what you got to think about too. At the high school level, they can't tell the difference between 99 and 100.
Right.
So like if you throw 50 at 99 and 7 at 100 at all.
I completely agree. And that's why you are still healthy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
I'm actually, I was so worried for my health, I stopped playing.
Right.
It was completely
my doctors actually came to you and said, Elijah, please stop playing so you can stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said, all right, it's for the greater good.
They knew I couldn't podcast with a
yeah. I mean, we have to go on the aisle.
Yeah.
But that is crazy though, especially when you watch Jacob Mizorowski. Is he throws hard, but he's also accurate. Like he's not, he doesn't lead the league in walks. He doesn't. So, back in the day when you would see the guys with high velo, the high velo would be great, but the walk rate would be sky high.
Yeah, he's not even like he's tall. Don't get me wrong, he's 6'7", but it's impressive. He's only 200 pounds, so it's basically like he weighs a little bit more than me, and he's 7 inches taller than me.
Yeah,
which is impressive that he can generate that much torque with that body. It's interesting. I just can't wait to see by the end of his career how many Tommy John surgeries he has.
That you know what? You probably, not to sound stupid, you probably have just as many as everybody else, because I feel like everybody these days. I mean, whether you throw hard, everybody throws hard, so that's not fair. But it just seems like everybody is, whether you're playing third base or pitching on the Orioles, you're getting Tommy John.
Yeah.
If you put what he did today or what he did on Sunday in perspective, 57 over 100. Chapman, in his heyday as a closer, he would throw 1 inning and he would probably throw, let's say, 8 at most over 100. He just did, and Chapman might get a day off, might get 2 days off. This guy's throwing 57 along with 100 pitches. And he is still, it's incredible what he can do.
It's very, very impressive. And I don't know, if I were Jacob Mizorowski, I would maybe reach out to Robish Chat and be like, hey, is there anything special you did to stay healthy? Because he's the only person that throws as fast as he did that hasn't had a major arm injury in his career. The Cuban Missile never failed.
Well, it did one time.
I'm talking about this one. We don't need to go back. Don't make this. Don't bring up politics, Cody. We don't need to go back to the 1960s.
I'm just trying to stay statistically correct.
There you go.
Did they fail if they were never launched?
Yes, that's a fail.
That's a fail. Oh,
that's like, did I fail a test when I didn't turn it in?
Okay.
I like how you were using analytics in that, Cody.
Did you? I tell you what, I'm using a lot of big words today.
Yeah.
So if you got your Scrabble game out, make sure you're
play the
pieces in line.
Yeah. I do want to just quickly heat on the Yankees for a little bit here, because that's one of my favorite pastimes. It's like watching baseball, talking about the Orioles, hating Yankees. It goes together. They only have 2 wins. This is now going into Tuesday. They only have 2 wins against teams above 500. I know this series, they're currently playing the Royals, so the Royals cannot get up to 500 against the Yankees.
Right.
So it's going to stay that way, that they only have 2 wins, once against the Brewers, one against Tampa Bay. And they've kind of got their butt kicked by teams. Now, I don't want to play devil's advocate for the Yankees. To be fair, when there's only like 3 teams in the American League that are above 500, it's hard to do that. But still, they're not doing great against teams above 500.
True. I mean, it is crazy looking across baseball. I know we talked about it a little bit before, just how bad the American League is, average-wise, win-loss. Like, for instance, looking at the AL Central where the Kansas City Royals are sitting, they're 22-32. I would have never thought at the beginning of the year that the Tigers would be in last place with 21. And you could say, well, it's injuries, but I also would argue like that's probably why we're sitting at 24. So it's one of those things where it's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, you got if I said, hey man, on the Memorial Day weekend, who's going to lead the AL West? Would you say the Athletics? I bet you wouldn't say the Athletics.
I would actually like to argue that.
No, you would have said the Mariners
at the beginning. I would have said the Mariners. That's true. I would just. It's not that shocking that the Mariners. You could have convinced me that the Mariners at A's could have been 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that way.
I just would have never thought the NL Central would be the best league in all of baseball. That's crazy.
The Centrals are always sometimes just sneaky good like that.
Yeah,
it's really. I didn't expect the Cardinals to be at all good. I thought they were going to be awful this year.
They every year though. I mean, if you want to pencil in teams that just figure it out at some point, Brewers, Cardinals. I mean, they just the Cardinals consistent for some reason. They just have a culture or whatever it is.
It's them and the Rays just always find ways to win.
Yeah, they do. They just figure it out.
It's that the Rays devil magic.
The devil magic.
Well, the devil Rays.
I get
it. Speaking of the devil Rays, no one devil Rays, I know, but Cedric Mullins, who's now their center fielder, not having that great of a season, but he made his return, long-awaited return, all of 6 months that he had to wait to make it back to Baltimore, and with a team much better than the Orioles or the Mets, where he was last season. So he's looking like that contract was pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, and I still think the trade was pretty smart. I mean, it kind of sucked that when we traded him, we didn't get much like that we thought.
Yeah.
But, I think it's evened out a little bit. I don't think he's a big loss for us right now.
No.
I think we would be complaining that he's batting
he wouldn't be playing.
He's batting a 184.
We'd be complaining that he was taking up a spot for Colton Cowser, even though Cowser's not doing he's done great as of late, but that we would find a way to complain no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, like I said, Mullins is batting 184, center fielder for the Rays. Our center fielder, Colton Cowser, is batting 176. He is doing better.
Leote, we wouldn't have signed Leote to
Okay, and he is batting a 252. Yes, you're right. That's a good point. That's a good point. You're absolutely right, and that was, thank goodness.
Yeah, because he's won us a couple games.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to just get real sentimental with everyone. Look me deep in that here. He finally did it. Mustard finally won.
Mustard won.
Mustard won.
Yeah,
it took him.
Remember, because Greg told us, because Greg was like, he's not going to do it. And then it happened. You know what it felt like to me? What's the horse race that we watched? The Kentucky Derby. You could hear them talking, and they're like all this stuff, and people were crying.
Yeah, I mean,
pulled it off.
I think by
tears of victory.
When people look back on this, it's gonna be like Usain Bolt winning all of his gold medals, and then Mustard's right there up with him.
And and it's one of those things where mustard for everybody is a condiment that is okay. You never, weird people. If you're listening to this, I don't mean to offend you. I'm not trying to be divisive. But
sounds like he's gonna be divisive.
But only weird people like just mustard on something. You can mix it with some ketchup.
You know what?
Unless it's a soft pretzel. Soft pretzel. Salted soft pretzel. Cinnamon soft pretzel with mustard. You're
psychotic.
I don't know what you are.
Yeah, I agree, because for me personally, I go ketchup and mustard, but I choose to root for mustard actually in hot dog races. Because
is it because he's bad, he never wins?
Well,
is that
why
the Orioles too?
No, I hate relish, and ketchup is too mainstream.
Yeah.
Ketchup is
everybody.
Ketchup's too big for his.
Ketchup is the Taylor Swift of the condiments. Everybody likes it, and some people try to fake not liking it.
Yeah, but
everyone
really
do like it. Yeah, that's how everybody likes. But Greg's what am I doing on this?
I think this is going off the rails.
But for mustard, it's such an important win for his morale and his mental health, because he just got sent down to single A Frederick this past week to get in some more reps.
How Mets that really gets.
I mean, skipping AAA and AA, going straight to single A. That's. I mean, who's the most recent person we can think of that got sent down? Alec Manoah. And Alec Manoah's career is ruined.
Yeah. If Mustard did happen to get released, who would you bring up?
I think you would. Okay, so
put it in the comments, everybody.
Well, I think for me, you'd be looking at a trade maybe with Chicago, bring in a Chicago dog, or maybe even Cincinnati to bring in some chili and cheese.
Okay.
I think you maybe look at some other markets. I'm perfectly happy with Mustard staying.
I think the chili and cheese would be really dangerous, because I don't know if you ever had a hot dog with chili and cheese on it. I don't know if you can run. You know what I mean?
Where are you getting your chili and cheese dogs from? 7-Eleven?
Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Go straight home, though.
And another big thing that happened is for the first time since 2024, a no-hitter has been thrown.
But Orioles?
Yeah, right. No, against the Orioles would have been really the question.
Okay.
But no, the Astros no-hit the Rangers on Monday night. Pretty impressive. It was a combined no-hitter, which isn't as impressive.
Yeah.
But, it's still no-hitter. They went, there was, the kind of crazy part is they had 4 strikeouts. No hit the Rangers and only struck them out 4 times. Gave up 5 walks, but 25 batters faced throughout the course of this game. 25 at-bats happened because of all the walks.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was Tatsuya Imaya. He got the first 6 innings. Didn't give up a hit. Then Steven Ogert came in. And then the final pitcher, it's an interesting one here. Alan Bersanta. Don't even know who he is. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. This is his first career appearance.
Wow.
He closed out the no-hitter.
Well, can you imagine? Be like, hey, let her rip, bud.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, and what gets me about that is when you look at the Rangers, I mean, I was getting ready to say, man, they don't have a lot of names I'm used to seeing on here. Like, I thought I was going to say, how do they keep Seager off? Is Seager hurt? I have no idea. But so Seager's out. Yeah. I mean, how do you keep Andrew McCutcheon's home run streak off? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. But so it's an interesting one. Combined no hitter.
Yeah.
First one, like I said, since 2024. So it's been a while. I know we've been talking about it. There's a couple close calls there. It seems like all of them are against the Orioles. So I'm just glad it wasn't us.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's it finally happened. Imaya got the job done.
Crazy.
Wander Franco, who did some very, very terrible things.
Yeah, very sure.
And banished from the MLB very deservedly. And he was convicted of his crimes, but will face 0 jail time, which I find absolutely
How does that even?
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I understand. I mean, he was dating a 15-year-old, and was convicted of dating a 15-year-old, and doesn't go to jail or anything.
Yeah, it just proves that your public status might mean a little bit.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people I feel like are going to take this as a hit on the Dominican Republic's legal system and the Dominican Republic as a whole. But you could look at America and stuff like this happens all the time too.
It's crazy. It sucks that it's like that because it really prevents. You would hope to prevent this in the future.
Yeah.
But when you have weird people and realizing that they won't get in that much trouble, then why not, right? But it's a shame.
Bringing it back to baseball, he's 24.
Yeah,
I think. Does he get a look in a year? Because Bauer's been banished.
I'm not sure.
That would be crazy.
I'm not sure if he received a lifetime ban or not.
That would be crazy if Bauer's banished. And Bauer's been
blacklisted.
He
actually legally has been dismissed.
Yeah, he's currently on MLB's restricted list still,
which
means he couldn't sign with the team.
Yeah.
The problem is if he were to try to make a comeback, the only team that he could play for the next few seasons would be the Rays, because he's technically would still be under contract with them.
Yeah, it just and it looks bad. The optics would look horrible.
Oh, I couldn't imagine any team wanting to. I think any team that would even try to do that should be relegated or something. It is absurd.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, let's talk about some good Orioles stuff.
Yeah, man.
We've not had a terrible past week.
No, we haven't.
I mean, we got our butts kicked by the Rays, but then we kind of bounced back. We played the Tigers, who are equally awful, and we were able to take advantage of it and get some wins. And one player that stood out through some of this, you might think I'm going to say Cole Cowser. We'll get to him, don't worry. But I want to talk about Adley Rutschman, who's having a heck of a comeback season after 2 really poor seasons. I mean, look at his 2024. He batted .250 with a .709 OPS. That's service pretty good from a catcher. You'll take that. But then the past 2 seasons, he batting .220, .254, or excuse me, he batted .220 last season, .673 OPS. Worse. You don't want to dip below 700 OPS, and in significantly less games too, because he was hurt. But this season, he's really, really bounced back. I'm so happy for him. He's batting a .254 this year, .325 on base, .478 slug. That's 803 OPS. And if you look at his Baseball Savant page, which shout out to Masson and all the guys over there, because the other day they actually showed the Baseball Savant page for I believe it was Trevor Rogers on one of the games. And I was with my grandfather, actually, and me and Cody, we were talking to him saying, if you ever wonder what nonsense stats I'm talking about, this is it right there. And if you look at his baseball swap page, Rutch, it's all red. All of his expected stats are really high. He's hitting the ball hard. He's getting a good launch angle in all of his swings. He's squaring it up. He's not whiffing. He's not chasing. He's whiffing less than all but 7% of Major League Baseball players. He's not striking out that much, and he's walking about average. And his defense has been immaculate. His framing is the best in baseball, and he's almost the best at caught steals above average. And even if you just look at that, he's still catching a lot of stolen bases. He's limiting the stolen bases. I believe he has 6 caught stealings this season. And that's really what you want to see. He's not blocking that great, I guess you could say. But I don't care at this point about blocking. And excuse me, he has 8 caught stealings this season already.
Yeah, he threw out the other day
Chandler
Simpson at second with literally a perfect throw.
Yeah.
Right to Blaze Alexander. So yeah, I mean, the only problem I have is he's crushing it. Don't get me wrong, and I think he's officially back, right? But the past 15 games, he's been struggling a little bit. Where it just batting average wise though, okay, so 152 past 15 games, it is what it is. Still hitting home runs, still getting the RBIs, and strikeouts still not bad. Hitting the ball hard. On base percentage is a 260. So it's one of those things where I'd love to see the average up a little bit. That's just me because I'm old. I like batting averages. But used to, when Adley Rutsch's batting average was down, the strikeouts were way up. And the walks were down. Right now, walks are good. Strikeouts are great. It's just hitting them where they are. It seems to be an issue the past 15 days.
He's really helping. His bat being this hot is making it okay that Gunnar Henderson is struggling, because you need at least 4 or 5 good hitters in your lineup to be a contending team, really. And between Taylor Ward, him, Pete Alonso, and Samuel Basallo, they can really stabilize at least the top half of this lineup enough that if Gunnar Henderson's there, he's good, but when he struggles, it's not so glaring. That Gunnar Henderson doesn't have to make up for the other 8 batters in the slide. It helps.
But they could move Henderson out of the 2, and I think put Rutschman in the 2, move Henderson down to 5 or 6, and I think it would help both. Because I think Rutschman is really a prototypical 2 type hitter, because he's not necessarily what you would call a just power hitter. So the hit in the 3, 4, 5 section. He can bunt. He can go the opposite way. He runs well for a catcher. And you have the one thing I'm blown away with the Orioles, and especially with Rutschman, as good as he's been this year. I know he had a little injury and he's come back, but you have a guy in Ward, when he hits leadoff, he's hitting his on base percentage over 400. But you have a guy hitting in the 2 hole whose on base percentage is like 3, which is not good for, so it confuses me why they haven't tried to take pressure off of Henderson, move him out of that spot, put a guy who can move runners around the bases as Rutschman can in the 2 hole, and help Alonso and so forth down in the line.
No,
because I like Rutschman.
I completely agree. I think Rutschman, I mean, you're looking, if you could, like with the names I said, if you do Ward, Rutschman, Basallo, Alonso, you do some sort of order for the top 4. No one's going to want to face that. With the way Basallo's been hitting when he's fully there, Alonso's always dangerous. Rutschman's good. Ward is going to get on base every other at bat, basically. If you can do like a Ward 1, Rutschman 2, Basallo 3, Alonso 4, Alonso 3, Basallo 4, really either one, it doesn't matter. And then maybe have Gunnar at 5. If Gunnar gets hot, Gunnar Henderson as your 5-hole hitter is pretty darn good.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I do notice is, just give him some love, is Gunnar Henderson in the past 30 days has been crushing it. The past 7 days, he's batting a 308 average, 357 on base percentage. Past 15 days, he's batting a 255 with a 293 on base. In the past 30 days, he is at a 243 with a 276 on base. Now, that comes to the year on, when you look at the year average, he's at 221, 275 on base. But the one good thing is now is if he can keep this rolling, even the average way, keeping the average, keep building the on base percentage, it does help a lot. But I'm still a fan of the 3, But the 3-hole, 4-hole. I mean, but the one issue I have is the thing that's worrisome when I look at the Orioles lineup seems to be like, where did Taylor Ward's pop go? It's gone.
It went with his swings. I actually, there was a great video made on YouTube. I forget the channel at the moment. I made a video about it. He's just not swinging the bat distance.
It's just like, well, it was last year he had 37 home runs or whatever. Right now he's sitting at 2. Like Jeremiah Jackson has 4 more home runs than Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
Not that Taylor Ward's doing bad. That's not what I'm saying.
It's just he's doing good in a very different way.
Yeah, we were looking for a right-handed power,
and he's an on-base machine.
Yeah, and
well, I think some of that though is the fact they got him in the leadoff hole.
Maybe.
I think that's the one thing is when you look at the Orioles, they're not constructed perfect. Ideally, Tavares should be up in the leadoff. I mean, he's over 300. I think he's close to 365 on base.
And he's a switch hitter.
And he's a switch hitter. I just, the biggest thing I find with the Orioles, especially, and bringing this back to Rushman to me fits in a 2-hole because he's not a guy, because he can do things with the bat.
Yeah.
I like Henderson. I always have, but Henderson to me is a prototypical 3-4 guy. Now, if Henderson's on base percentage was a lot higher with his speed, he could hit leadoff. I mean, he would be very scary at that. But he's just not a high on base guy. So and I think we all agree that if in baseball, the teams that win have high on base guys up in the top of the lineup. So it gives Alonso chances for RBI. It gives these guys Henderson RBI chances. I just don't. I mean, you're not going to ask Henderson to bunt the ball in the 2-hole.
Yeah, I don't think he could bunt the ball.
Yeah, I think what would be nice is after the All-Star break, if Jackson Holiday's comfortable enough, like batting wise, is for him to start moving up and taking a little stress off the top of our lineup, just to have the speed, the ability for power. The power ability is a better way to say that. Just to have him. I mean, I think it's going to take a minute to get going because he's still. Spring training for him. I mean, he had a good swing the other day against the Rays in the extra inning game where he got the RBI in, where he was, I don't know, maybe 10 feet from a home run.
And the home run he hit was, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't a great swing.
Yeah.
But the one thing I was worried about is he wasn't going to have any pop.
Yeah.
But he somehow took a bad swing and got a home run.
Yeah, literally right in the bottom of the
It was pretty impressive. I've never seen that before. But I think you're absolutely right. I think in a perfect world.
What'd you say? I just wanted to hear you say that.
I didn't say nothing. I'm not going to.
He was talking to me.
Oh, sorry. If you notice, I was looking right at you. Right
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it in my pocket and save it. It's like a Valentine's Day card you gave to the.
If I just come up with a trivia question, he'll get it wrong, and then we'll be back to square one. Well, moving on, another guy that's been playing really well lately. That maybe if you see the biggest weakness in the game, strike out. If he can strike out a little bit less and maybe just get on base a little more, which he's been doing lately, he could even be a leadoff hitter, and that's Colton Cowser.
Yeah, I mean, what in the world do pitchers not? Do they not watch the Orioles? You throw changeups and curveballs in the dirt to Colton Cowser. You don't throw meat waist high.
But I will say, Kenley Jansen's stupid.
He's not stupid.
Kenley Jansen is stupid. If you throw, he threw a fastball down the middle in an 0-2 count. No matter, that's stupid to throw to Elisha Jones, and I'd probably still swing and miss it, but it's still stupid to throw.
I can tell you exactly why he did that. All right. So the reason why he threw it right down the middle is because Colton Cowser at that time was batting under a 200 with 35 strikeouts on the season. And he was like, heck, why not? It's sort of like you have a dice and with 6 sides and you have to bet one side that won't get it. You're like, all right, well, I'll pick one. I don't know. There's 5 other sides I can hit. So,
I'd be interested to know.
Who would you be interested in?
But I just would be interested to know how many of those strikeouts came on all-speed pitches.
Oh, 98%.
And that's why, like, we do.
Oh, is that your argument? Is your argument that he threw the fastball?
Yes.
Oh,
that's my argument.
Sorry.
You could throw a changeup down.
Okay.
That was my argument.
I agree with you.
It's all right.
I was trying to disagree with you.
Because my argument is it's a poor decision to throw a fastball down the middle.
I agree.
To any major league hitter should be able to hit. I mean, granted, I was a cutter or a sinker, so it wasn't fast. Still,
sinking fastball.
I just don't understand why you would do that if you're Kenley. And then you look at it, he hit the home run Monday, and it was not as right down the middle, but still very hittable pitch. Shouldn't have been thrown,
especially to a lefty. Inside on the hands.
Yeah. And my only thing that I can look at this is he has struggled so much this season. We've been saying it a lot. Is he going to be the odd man left out? Dylan Beaver's getting hurt, kind of saved his butt.
Yeah.
I hope that he can take this and take the good at-bats that he's had recently. I mean, over the past 7 games, batting at .357, 400 on base percentage.
Yeah.
And we're all going to take that 786 slug.
Yep.
That's amazing. Take this and keep going.
Yeah.
If he can just figure out the off-speed stuff, really work on that, he could be very productive for the Orioles.
Yeah, and I mean, your goal if you're in that Orioles locker room currently and you're a fielder, your goal is to just not be as bad as Tyler O'Neill.
Which it might be physically impossible.
I mean, that's your goal because you're like, all right, well, if $30 million man can bat a 150, whatever he's batting.
154.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy how bad he is. So you're just sitting there going, all right, guys, I said hit a couple home runs. All right, I'm 3 steps above.
So is the way to get $30 million a year from the Orioles just to be super jacked?
Just super jacked, look super on a. But all right, I'm gonna stop dogging on him. But he is struggling really bad, and it's embarrassing because it seems like every time we pay somebody,
this happens.
The crap goes to the fan.
Yeah, at least people just figured it out.
Alonso started to get hot. He started to. He's cooled back off a little bit. I still think Alonso's going to figure. I still think Alonso's going to end up in that 250 range.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I mean, he'll probably be there, hit 27 home runs, and that's a great first baseman. It's just, I think sometimes you're putting too much on one person, and Alonso can't pitch. But
you want to talk about pitching now? We'll talk about pitching. I want you to go look at the past 15 days pitching stats for the Orioles because it's going to pleasantly surprise you.
Okay, I love being pleasant.
Go to 2026, not
2026.
And then click off of ERA.
Let's just go to team maybe?
We don't want to show the ERA.
Well, no. So his problem is he would click on ERA.
That's what, 15 days?
15 days. ERA only shows you 5 qualified starters. So we only have 2 qualified.
Okay, go ahead, Elijah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go down this list. And I'll start with the bad. Trevor Rogers has a 12.41 ERA the past 15 days. That's bad.
Okay, that's bad.
Anthony Nunez has a 7.94 ERA. That's bad. Chris Bassett, 6.75. That's bad. Then you go Keegan Aiken, 18 even. Send him to Mars.
But you're like, well, there can't be worse than that.
But hold on. Cameron Foster is a 27.
Yeah, that Cameron Foster.
Send him to Mars as well. No, I'm kidding. He's young. He'll fit.
He's not.
Do you want to know who's better ERA than all of these guys, though?
Who's that?
Weston Wilson. Got any pitch, no run scored. Look at Weston.
That's crazy.
But no, those are really all. And then you can maybe lump in Josh Walker. He's got a 4.5 ERA and 4 innings pitched. That's it. Dietrich Enns hasn't been amazing. 6.43 ERA. Other than that, though, they've looked fairly decent.
I mean, there's one guy that surprised me the most on this. I don't mean to jump the gun on you.
No, you're good.
Is Brandon Young. I have been a Brandon Young hater since he's came in the league, and now if he's not on our team in those games don't even have a chance. He's giving length. He's getting 6 innings now, so that's getting better. I also think he's also getting more experience, which that's everything.
Yeah.
Right. And but Brandon Young has been a huge bright spot to the past month and a half.
Yeah. And then you want to know who else has figured it out? Bradish finally.
Kyle Bradish is our ace.
Yeah. It's, going into the season, we knew it was going to be him and Rogers, and at least one of them's figured it out.
Yeah.
Kyle Bradish, 1.56 ERA past 15 days. He's looked amazing. Yeah. You can't expect anything. You can't ask for much.
I just feel like the one thing he doesn't get is like when Bradish pitches, we don't score.
Yeah, he gets no runs.
You know what I mean? So the past 6 games, he's a He's like a 3.78 ERA. Not great, but it's doable.
Yeah.
And he's 1-4, one win, 4 losses.
He's giving you a chance in every
Absolutely.
one of those games.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that on the flip side of it, Young ERA in probably about the same amount is about the same.
Yeah.
But he's won games.
Yeah.
But I think he's won games. So he's gotten run support in those games. Bradish hasn't. But I mean, right now, I mean, if Bradish keeps throwing like this and he stays healthy, I mean, he's definitely the ace.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's pretty obvious.
The past 6 games, Bradish, the opponent's average is just about a 2, which is pretty impressive.
I think that's one of the biggest stats, average. How are they hitting off your guy? And I mean, that's really good. I mean, and to bring it full circle, I mean, you have Bradish, you have Young's pitching well, and you actually have a starter that has to get a reliever to start for him before he's allowed to pitch.
All right.
Which is the most Oriole thing ever.
Absolutely. And we'll delve into that more in just a few short moments, Greg. I know you're chomping at the bit, ready to really get into that. I just want to talk about some more good stuff in the bullpen. We just get real negative. Well, look at Rico Garcia, who's not been as untouchable lately, but he's still done really good, not allowing that many hits. Only giving up, I believe it's like, he's given up, 5 hits over the past 15 games, and before that, I think he'd only given up 1. So that's 6 hits all season. I'm not going to be upset at that. Yennier Cadeau's looked really good, too, thankfully. He's sneakily had one of the best seasons on the team.
Yeah, I think the first, I don't mean to dive negative like you just told me not to, but I'm going to say one thing. I think the one frustrating part for me is Albert Suarez has pitched in 19 innings this season. And I could go earlier, like the past 15 days, but it's still good. Nothing changes. But so anyway, Albert Suarez has pitched in 19 innings. His opponent batting average is a 197. Okay. ERA is a 2.75. Take that for what it is because he hasn't pitched many innings. So actually, he's pitched better than that, in my opinion. Meanwhile, we DFA him pretty much.
Oh, you wrong. You got to change that. It's not DFA. We've DFA'd.
Yeah.
Because it's been
how many
3
times? Right. Meanwhile, Keegan Aiken, who literally is, I don't know if you watched the last time Keegan Aiken pitched. He took a tee, he sat it on top of home plate, and just put a ball there and said, "Let her rip." Yeah, because that's what it seemed like. Because they couldn't miss it. They just kept hitting the ball.
The only thing I'll say about that is you can't get the bat speed and the exit feel off.
Oh, okay.
I think he had one of those little the ones that the pitching machines that you pull it back.
Oh, yeah. It's going right now. Because I'm like, so Albert Suarez, if there's any advice I can give to you, throw with the other hand. Because apparently the only reason Keegan Aiken is on this team is because he throws left.
And I would like to just remind everyone out there that I think a little bit going into this is Cody's ongoing fight and hatred towards left-handed people.
Yeah,
I think that's going.
It's not my fault that I'm right for being right, and you're wrong for being left. But so it's one of those things where oh, that was good. I hope when you're listening to this, I hope you're laughing because that was a great joke. If you're not laughing, you're wrong. But anyway, no. So in all seriousness, Keegan Aiken is just absolutely doing awful, and he is the Tyler O'Neill of our pitching staff. Drunk. I'm done.
Yeah, Keegan Aiken, like I said before,
except he's not jacked.
What? Except he's not jacked. No, he's a little. What's a nice way to say it?
Plump?
Tubby.
Tubby is not the right way to say it. I mean, he's not like that. I mean,
no, he's not that.
No,
he's not Tyler O'Neill, I guess. Yeah. No, and earlier I said we should send him to Mars. That might be too close. Maybe Jupiter,
maybe.
Pluto,
Uranus.
Uranus. Yeah. Oh man,
and it's Tyler O'Neill.
So, Greg has a brand new segment today, and he would like to talk about how he really likes the Orioles' opener decision for Chris Bassett. What do you got on that, Greg?
Well, I think it was Keegan Aiken who started the game for him last time.
Yeah.
And he starts the game, and then you bring Bassett in because Aiken goes 1 inning. And I cannot figure out. Now, I know there has been, especially in today's game, There's been a couple others, but they call it a bullpen game.
Right.
They don't literally start a reliever to get to a starter because the starter can't pitch the first inning. You're paying $18 million, I think he signed for, dollars for 1 year for Bassett to make him a pseudo starter reliever. That makes no sense. He's a professional baseball player. He is a professional pitcher. If he cannot learn how to pitch in the first inning, then that's a major problem. I don't understand what the Orioles think is the idea of this, especially putting Aiken in, who is getting killed every time he pitches. That makes no sense.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the frustration is, especially when you hear about the whole analytic issue that the Orioles are having currently. Ben McDonald obviously is the one guy that has spoke out the most about this. And I'll read this for you here. Ben McDonald says, "We can talk about analytics and what could happen and what should happen if you hit the ball hard. But I don't care if you hit the ball hard. Like, I don't care if you hit it hard and you hit it to somebody, you're out. I don't care how hard you throw ball 4. I don't care what your spin rate was on your breaking ball. If you bounce it, if it's 3 feet in front of home plate, I don't care. What I care about is, do you make plays? Do you make pitches? Do you get hits when it matters?" And that's all. That's what the Orioles are struggling with right now. He goes on more and more and talks about just about how everything that I completely agree with, where, they keep talking about hard hit rate, is the Orioles are like 2 in Major League Baseball. But when you look at average, we're near the bottom of the league. You look at, he was talking about throw the ball hard, but we don't really have that, It's just one of those things where analytics tell you the success rate of a certain thing, but when that success doesn't happen, it is very frustrating.
Yeah. Now, and I think so. I know of the 3 of us here, probably care the most about analytics. I would have to say I'm the one that brings up the baseball savant pages and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I understand this even while I'm talking about stats, that although I do love to nitpick stats because I want to be optimistic sometimes, no matter what stat you choose, there's got to be stuff that goes with it. You can't just pick hard hit percentage and say that's all that you're good at. Yeah. Your hard hit percentage is good, but when you're whiffing on more pitches than anyone else in the league, it doesn't matter that you hit the ball hard when you hit the ball once a week.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You got to pair the stuff together. Anyone can nitpick something. Like I remember after the game on Sunday night, the first game Sunday, when Colton Cowser hit that home run, the Orioles posted something saying that was the first walk-off home run down by a player that was down in an 0-2 count with 2 outs and the runner on second base in the bottom of the 9th inning while previously down 5-3 in the game, something like that, since 2008. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's a lot of credit to their stat department for actually knowing that.
It wasn't
incredible.
the Orioles stat department. The Orioles put a picture of some tweet from this stat company that does it. Really what it was ChatGPT. They just typed in a bunch of random stuff, and they just kept trying to filter it down and narrow it down to see what they could get.
Analytics, stats are great, and stats do tell a picture, but it does not tell the whole picture. And I believe that and I think this started with the Orioles a few years ago. Pitchers getting to 6 innings, 5 innings, we're going straight to the bullpen. By the end of the year, your bullpen's tired. I think that's one reason Henderson hasn't moved out of the 2. I truly believe they're running that team based off of stats, or based off of what they perceive as stats, and not off of feel. You go back and you look through the years, the best managers, the best ball clubs are run off of feel. Yes, everybody uses stats. Every team in Major League has an analytical department. Moneyball, we all remember how that's worked out, and that was based off averages, percentages, and everything. But every team has it, but you still have to understand the feel of the game, just the basics of the game. And I agree with Ben McDonald so much. It does not matter what stat says if you can't throw a strike and if you can't hit a ball. It does not matter.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, I think experience is so important.
Yeah.
On just a coaching staff. And I know we talked about that last week. It's just I don't even know, because we don't have that experience of a staff, and I don't think you don't need 90-year-old Tony La Russa up here coaching, but it helps to formulate, because I guarantee if you go back and look at it, everyone wants to be the Rays with analytics. Everyone wants to be the smartest they can be, and Kevin Cash, he knows what he's doing with the analytics stuff, but he has enough feel for the game, and he was surrounding himself with enough talent to figure it out. Go look at the Giants. They're struggling. Nothing against Tony Vitello. Him and his coaching staff, I guarantee, are at least a quarter of the issues there.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair to say the Orioles, at least 25% of our problems are this coaching staff. And that's not me saying that they can't figure it out, but there's just so much that's going wrong here.
Yeah, and
I don't
think
understand
the thing that annoys me the most with this is, like Albernaz, and obviously says he disagreed with everything that Ben McDonald said, which you can't really say that when you're losing all the time. So you should have just said, "Well, I didn't hear it," even if you heard it.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the Orioles win. He has like a remark about how they win with.
I'm just glad they didn't suspend Ben McDonald.
And I'm just sitting here going, Albernaz, you can't defend. It's like you're a boxer and you lose because you kept getting punched in the face. And the guy said, "Well, why do you keep getting punched in the face?" You're like, "Well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't, And it's one of those things where, you're losing. Take your hits, take your punches to the face, quote unquote, right? Yeah. And move on, because you can say whatever you want when this gets turned around. Yeah. But right now, you can't defend.
Yeah. Now, and there's
I think it runs into a fact of when you come out and you say something like that, you start to look dumb. You really do. And it's just because everybody that heard that statement would agree with the statement based on the results the Orioles have right now.
Yeah.
Based on the results of things. So as a coach, and I agree, Cody, with you wholeheartedly, and say you didn't hear it, say, well, I mean, he has points or whatever, but I think it points to a bigger issue, and it points to you were hired to be your GM's puppet. And I think that's what the fans are starting to feel like who's running this team? Is it Elias or is it the manager? Yeah. And I think that creates an even bigger issue with the Orioles.
Yeah, I think the front office has too much control. Ever since you know what? This is going to be unpopular. Moneyball, I think, was the downfall of baseball, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just every GM wants to be the next Moneyball. They want to be the next big, they want to come up with the next big thing. And there have been certain places where it's worked. Like, I'll give credit to the Rays. They'll pay their players collectively $40 million a year, and they're good every year. They figured it out. The Dodgers, even back in the 2010s and stuff, the late 2010s, they were good, and they were paying some money, but they figured out how to make it work. Those are really it, though, that's figured it out.
Well, you have Theo Epstein with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
He brought in certain guys for certain things. But those teams, I still go back. You go to the Dodgers, you go to the Red Sox, you even go to the Cubs that year. They've got role fillers.
Yep.
And those role fillers is where analytics really, really matters. Hey, this guy is good at X. He's good at doing whatever X is, and he fills a role in the team. You still have to have your stars. And the problem is when you look at the Orioles, they have a lot of seat fillers when you need more stars.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big issue.
I think it's funny whenever I hear about the Moneyball thing, because it always comes back to this, is where do the Orioles struggle the most at? And it's their pitching staff. Okay.
Mhm.
When you look at Moneyball and how amazing, they make, what's his name? The GM, Billy Bean look, right? Moneyball had 3 of the top pitchers in Major League Baseball that year. They had Barry Zito, who won the Cy Young. They had Tim Hudson, who was amazing, and Mark Mulder. And I'm just sitting here going, boy, as an Orioles fan, can I have one? I just want one of those guys, right? Because then you look at how they had what's his name? I can't remember the first baseman that snuck in there, and can you play first base? And Ron Washington says, oh, it's extremely hard. Well, my God, the other teams can't even hit the ball because your pitching staff's so good. Heck, put the mascot at first base. Do the A's have a mascot?
The A's, it's an elephant.
I
don't know if they have it anymore, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, you also, you say they have the Cy Young. Well, don't forget, they had the MVP in Miguel Tejada.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
And the Cy Young.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you're right. They were underdogs.
Yeah, they did.
It was a great movie. I'm not banking on the movie, but the movie doesn't really tell you how the season. But I love the movie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But analytics is really for the seat fillers, the sub guy. It's not for the stars. And I think that's where I think you look at who the Orioles bring in. They're like, okay, this guy can play 4 positions. He can do this. He can do that. That's great when he's playing once a week.
Yeah.
Not when he has to play 5 games a week.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the Blaze Alexander trade.
Yeah.
Because that was very analytical, and he's been forced into this role to be more of a starter, which I don't think he was ever designed to be for this team. And granted, that's because of injury, not because the Orioles. Yeah. That's not the Orioles' fault. But those are the moves that you see that you make that are beneficial. And they really don't, I don't know. There's not enough human field this team, it feels like.
Yeah.
They don't have enough, because there's just, the base running I feel like has been worse than ever before. The defense is not there. The at-bats are always bad at, honestly. I'm not going to act like they were good last year or the year before. I feel like the Orioles have always been bad at striking out. Even back to Adam Jones and Chris Davis, it just felt like we were never very disciplined at the plate. But that just, all of that comes together and you can't do something right. My thing that really got me thinking about the fundamentals that this team doesn't have is on Monday, it's the 10th inning against the Rays. Of course, we did end up winning this game. 10th inning, no outs. Jackson Holiday started on second base with the extra inning runner, and Cowser was up to bat. Cowser lays down a bunt, and it wasn't a perfect bunt, but it was good enough. Holiday should have gotten third, but he didn't. He ended up getting stuck at second base, and we got the out at first, Cowser, and that leaves you with a runner on second now with 1 out. And the thing that always confused me, first of all, just about extra innings, I understand you bunt him over, and then you just got to get a ground ball or a pop fly, and you score a run no matter what. That's the way that the extra innings should happen if you're the home team, every single time. But the way that they execute this, there's no fundamentals. A high school baseball team can go out there and do better than what the Orioles did.
Yeah, I think you're right. So with the bunting aspect, it's sort of it reminds me, because it's all analytical on that. That's the reason why they don't bunt.
Yeah.
Because they say the guy at second is in the same scoring position as the guy at third.
Yeah.
But the difference in, I think what you're saying is, well, not really, because a pop fly to left field doesn't score a guy from second.
Yeah. Or a Baltimore chop doesn't score a guy from second.
But it's sort of it's funny how you see that, and then you see, I don't know, you see an NFL team go for a random 2-point, and you're it never works. They're well, analytically, but it's frustrating.
You know what this is? The extra innings first batter bunt to get the guy over there. That's the tush push. It should be the gimme.
It's a gimme. Yeah.
It's a gimme.
Yeah.
If you're the home team and you hold the away team scoreless in the top of it in extra inning, there should be no reason you don't.
Hands on the cheeks every time and push.
Oh,
what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
There should be no reason for not bunting. Unless it's Shohei Ohtani or honestly, even if it was Pete Alonso, I don't believe Pete Alonso can lay down a bunt.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to have, it has to be some of the best hitters. Aaron Judge is not laying down a bunt with a runner on second and no outs. I understand that. But any other batter, even if it's Gunnar Henderson, I want him bunting.
But you're also assuming, and I know saying assuming isn't bad, but it's the thing of these guys. I think the bunt, I agree. Every time I watch a game, I'm like, just bunt him over. But the one thing that is gone in that whole thing, and I think this is a part of it too, we don't look to go to the opposite field. with balls. Hey, they're pitching you away. We're still trying to pull a ball. And that's based off analytics is the swing rate in baseball to go for the home run and not take the single to right field or left field, depending. Cowser's a perfect example of that. I believe if Cowser would just look to go opposite field with more stuff, he's going to stay on the breaking ball longer. He's going to stay off the pitch in the dirt. And he's probably going to increase his average by 50 points, which guess what? You would take. But
absolutely,
that part of our brain, for some reason in baseball, has gotten worse and worse.
Yeah.
And we just
and
in the major leagues, you just don't see it as much.
Yeah.
Now the good teams you do.
So the good teams you do see it, but it's definitely the fundamentals have gone away, and the philosophy of Major League Baseball has completely changed. Because you know what you don't see anymore? A lefty pulling the ball on the ground with a runner on second base. Right? I mean, it's that simple. It's just Or if you're a righty, just slap it over to second base. Like that's what used to happen. I understand that. Yeah, you run the risk of leaving that guy on third, but when you go up there and you strike out, what's the difference?
Yeah. Well, good news, everybody. Next week when we come on this podcast, the Orioles will be undefeated since the last time you saw us. Hopefully, you've seen us a week ago. If that's it, right? But you're not just watching it back and forth. But we're probably going to go undefeated for the rest of the week and maybe not lose another game. I just don't see how if we lose another game.
Because what's going to happen is they're going to hire the three of us to come in.
We're
just going to have a bunning workshop.
Yeah.
That's all it's.
And I'm just going to go over to first base with Pete Alonso, and if there's a pop fly, teach him how to open the glove. Just stick it out there instead of letting it pass him by.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you all for joining us on another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And if you're listening to us, you're probably listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And I ask that you subscribe to our channel. That way you can see when we upload new shows, and give us a 5-star review, as that helps us out a ton. Thank you guys so much. Remember on all the socials: X, Instagram, Facebook, literally all on TikTok. So in this time when we went, Elijah put a little video up. We can't wait to see you guys next week here on the Eutaw Street Banter. Thanks, everybody.